We're joined by Kevin Barnett, NBC analyst for volleyball, who's just returned from Beijing. And Kevin, what was it like for you to follow this U.S. men's team throughout the games?
It was a lot of fun. These are a lot of my friends who I played with, some through 8-9 years, my entire career. Others who are new guys that I've had an opportunity to get to know in the gym, or guys like Sean who I've had an opportunity to get to know through Pepperdine a little bit and different times in the gym before I retired. So I had a really great time watching my friends succeed on the world's greatest stage.
Now, as an analyst, you do have a duty to be objective, but how do you work that out? Were you inside saying, oh, come on, come on, come on?
I spent a lot of time pounding on the table and kicking things and throwing water bottles around in the booth where nobody can hear or see me.
Okay.
I have to be impartial in the air and view the action as objectively as possible. That's my job, that's my mandate coming from NBC. Inside, yeah, I'm cheering for the U.S. And I think at the end of the day, everyone at NBC I know, all the way up to the chairman, Dick Ebersol, is cheering for the United States. But the question is the integrity of the broadcast. So we try and keep it focused on the action, focused on an honest evaluation of what's occurring. And it was great because the men's team, honestly evaluated, objectively, they were the best team.
Talk about that moment when you were able to call your friends and colleagues gold medalists.
Moment, every time I see him, I try and call him gold medalist. How you doing? Gold medalist Sean Rooney, nice to meet you. You know, it's stuff like that. It's a lot. At the time, I mean, I don't cry often. I was ready to cry in the booth just because it was that kind of moment, and they had done it in such dramatic fashion. Great thing about that final match was that it was good volleyball all the way to the end, and then all of a sudden, bang, bang, it was over. It wasn't as though they were blowing them out, and it was kind of a foregone conclusion for 10 or 15 minutes. It was in doubt till the last ball went down. So that was a lot of fun from a standpoint of viewership, and also from a standpoint of being a commentator and having to react to the emotion of what's occurring. There was a lot of emotion and a lot of action immediately leading up to the medal itself.
What did you see as the biggest test for this team throughout the tournament?
I think the biggest test was Russia. And I think obviously a lot of people will focus on the murder, but at a place like the Olympic Games, you're so isolated. The environment is very much like a cocoon. You know, it's easy to get it back to being inside of that. So I think they dealt well with that. They got over that 3-2 win over Venezuela, and that's the reason that went 3-2, because this team outperformed every other team in the tournament when it mattered. But the 3-2 against Venezuela is directly due to that event. So I think getting through that was tough. But I think by the end, this is 2 weeks later, the toughest moment for them and the biggest key to success was beating that Russian team, which was the other best team in the tournament. And to eke out that win, and if you look down the stats, Russia outdid them in the stats. It's close. Every time it's close, but the Russians are just a 1% better in every category. You look at the scoreboard, that was the only thing they didn't win was the scoreboard. So I think that was the toughest test for that group, was to get through that match, get over the hump to where they knew they were going to have a medal. They knew it was going to be silver or gold. They'd beaten the best team. The rest of it was gravy.
Where do you see USA Volleyball in 2012?
It's a fine question. It's an older team, average age of 31. That's old for volleyball. We'll just have to see. I don't think we'll know anything really for 2 years. We'll have to see who comes back next year, how many of the veteran players are able to continue, and a year out I think you'll have a better idea. So 2-3 years from now I think you'll be able to answer that question more succinctly. There is some young talent in the gym. It's amazing the amount of talent considering how many males in the United States play volleyball. It's not very many. It's amazing the talent and the success of the United States program. So I think in 2 years you'll have to see where they're really at. I know if Coach McCutcheon is at the helm, which is an unknown, if he's at the helm, I know the environment in the gym will definitely be positive towards developing a world-class team, and I knew that 3 years ago. It's just a question of where it would go, and it was great for him to have his efforts and his ability to get the team to buy in validated by an Olympic gold medal.
It's so exciting. And speaking of excitement, what was it like for you today to be able to return from Beijing to Pepperdine with your children, being announced in front of the whole school, and have such a warm welcome?
Oh, it's great. I love coming back here. I had a great experience here. I came from junior college, 2 years at Pepperdine. I just had an incredible experience here, and it was a lot of fun. So anytime I get a chance to come back for alumni games or alumni events is a lot of fun. And an opportunity to see the entire school is unique. And so to see the entire school on the first convocation, that's why I said yes. I got off the plane 2 days ago. I got up at 3:45 in the morning after day one, and today managed to wait until 5 o'clock to get out of bed. But any opportunity I have to come up here and celebrate the success that kind of began here is a lot of fun.